Hello everyone, in this video I'll be explaining you the problem Deque process. This is the second problem that was asked in Codeforces round 1039 division 2. So yeah, let me read out the problem and I'll be explaining you on the board. So we say that an array A of size n is bad if and only if there exists I greater than or equals to 1 less than n power n minus 4 such that one of the following condition holds. If you take a of I, which is we should be less than a of I plus 1, should be less than a of I plus 2. Basically, the 5 consecutive elements, whatever is there, it shouldn't be in increasing order or it shouldn't be in decreasing order. So if it is, then it is said to be bad. An array is good if and only if it's not bad. Yeah, obviously. For example, a is equal to 3, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. If you see this continuous 5 element is in increasing order, which holds this condition, first one, so it is bad. And if you see this one, these 5 elements are in decreasing order, which hold this condition, so it is bad. But if you consider this one, this is in decreasing order and this is in increasing order, but there are only 4 elements, but it should be have 5 elements. So it is good. So what they're saying is you are given a permutation p, p1, p2, pn. So yeah, if there is any number 1 to n basically, so we have given a permutation of that number. So 1 to n, let's say 1 to 10, it is in the form 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So this number is arranged in some permutation and we have given that. So we must perform n turns. Yeah, you must perform n turns because there are n numbers, so we'll have to perform n turns. At each turn you must remove either the leftmost or the rightmost element in P. So they have given this P, we'll have to remove the leftmost or the rightmost element. Let Qi be the element removed at the right turn. Choose which element to remove at each turn so that the resulting array is good. Resulting array Q is good. We can show that under the given constraints it is always possible. Okay, so yeah, let me take you to the board and explain you. This is very interesting. So first example says n is 7 and they have given an array. This is the array P. They have given in this order. So if you see, this array is bad because if you take 5 elements, so it is strictly in increasing order, so it is bad array. So we'll have to construct the good array from this. So how do we solve this? So and what they have said is from this P array, either you can remove leftmost element or you can remove rightmost element. So this is LR, these are the pointers. So yeah, we'll have to remove from either left side or right side. So when you remove from the left side, so you'll have to display the answer which is of string. So if you are removing, because all you will be doing for n terms, like n times, and since there are n elements, so we have a string of l's and r's. What is L here? Basically, if you remove L, so here you will be placing L. Let's say if you remove R, you will be placing R. Like if you have removed L, you have moved one distance ahead. Now you have removed R, so R you will be placing and you will move one distance backward. So in this way you will have to return a string. So how do you solve this now is the question. So one thing I'll be doing is that I'll be taking one increasing variable whose type is boolean. So whenever I take, let's say choose let's say 1 I've chosen, now I'll be choosing 2. Let's say I've chosen 2, so my answer will be, since I've chosen L and one more time I've chosen L, so mine now L will be at this position. Now if you see 2 minus 1, this is basically 1. So if you see this is increasing order, so my increasing variable will be true, which means it is in increasing order. And I'll be taking one more element, one more integer variable whose value is the last element that we have taken. So last value right now we have taken is 2. So now we are at left and right. So what I'll be doing is I'll be basically checking the last element is last element whatever we have, let me denote as le, is less than the vector. In vector I'll be taking these things, so it is p here, so let me take p only, p of l, and last element is less than p of r, which means whatever element right now you're going to choose will be greater than the last element. So in that case your like basically if you, even if you choose here 3 or if you choose here 7, the element will be in increasing order. So if it is in increasing order, so among these two choose the highest one. Why I'm saying that choose the highest one? Because let's say we have chosen smaller one, and in the next iteration, let's say this was somehow in the problem it was 8. So now somehow let's say we have 4 elements at the something 0, some elements are there. You have got let's say 4 elements, but at this position you will be having either 8 or 7, and from these two if you choose either of that, either if you choose 7 or 8, and that will be in continuous increasing order. Got it, right? So that is the reason we will always be trying to take the highest element. So 7 I'll be taking. If the last element is lesser than the left element and right element, so we will be taking the highest element, such that the next element what we will be taking is let's say here we have let's say 9 and r is here. So in that case since it is increasing, so you can choose 3 in such a way that it is decreasing. So increasing and decreasing are maintained, so you will not get continuously you will not get 5 consecutives increasing or decreasing. So that's the reason I'll be doing this way. You guys are getting right? So left, either left if last element is lesser than the left index element and right index element. So in that case, among these two, which one is biggest, that I'll take, and increasing I'll set it true. And this is the one condition. One more condition would be, give me a second. Sorry, I got disturbed. Let me connect mic. Yeah, hello. So what I was telling is that first condition, when last element is lesser than both the left and right pointer element, so in that case we'll have to choose the greatest element. So now one more case is that if last element is greater than element present at left and last element is greater than element present at right. So in this case what we're doing is that last element is greater, so whatever element let's say we are choosing, so okay, before that, since we have chosen 1 2, and according to this condition we'll be choosing 7, right? We have chosen 7 and our right pointer is moved backward, so now last element is 7 in this case. And if you try to see now, last element has some value in between. I mean, if you take 3, this is the left pointer element, right pointer element is 6, and okay, last element 7, not in between, it is lesser than. So last element, these two elements are lesser than last element, right? So in that case somehow since both elements are lesser, we'll try to take the lesser element only. Why we are trying to take lesser element? Again, being same reason, since I've tried to explain you on the greater element side, so in the same way, if we try to take the lesser element, if in any case since I mean if you're taking, if this is in increasing order, like basically increasing order doesn't matter here, since any order is there, that doesn't matter. But when you're taking the last element, when the last element is lesser I mean greater than both elements, so if you're taking the smaller element, that is basically decreasing order, obviously, because 7 is greater than 3, and next time if you try to take this 6, this will be in increasing order. So again, that increasing decreasing chain will be broke down. So that is the reason we'll be taking the smaller element. When last element is greater than both the element, the smaller one will be choosing. So yeah, the smaller one we will be choosing. So 7 we have taken. So among these two, the smaller one we will be taking. And okay, I'll be maintaining answer also, since first two times I've taken left, and I've taken 7 which is on right side. This is my string, and I've taken now 3 which is on left side. So this is again left, and I'll be moving left to one pointer ahead. Yeah, so now last element will be updated to 3, because this is the this is permutation P. From this permutation we are generating again one more array, and in such a way that it is good. And when whatever, I mean, to generate this, whatever elements you are taking from left and right, that order we are maintaining, and this will be displaying at the output. So yeah, now last element is 3, and if you try to see 4 and 7, 4 and 6, both are greater elements. So in this case, if both are greater, the greatest one will be taking according to this condition what I've said you. So I'll be moving right pointer to backward, and R will be in our answer. So again, last element is 6 here, right? So now again, 4 and 5 both are lesser than last element. It falls in this condition. So in this condition it was choose greater element, right? And in this case it is lesser element, right? Yeah. So 6 is the last element, and 4 and 5 both are lesser, so we'll be choosing the lesser one, 4. And since we have chosen from left side, we'll be increasing to left pointer to one place ahead. And in this case both the elements are same, so since both the elements are same, I'll be explaining you this case. Don't worry, I'll take one more example. But at the end, let's say we're taking this 5. So either we can take L or we can take R. So let me take R only, and this is the string that will be written. It is possible that we have multiple ways. So this is one of the way. So that's the reason it will hold good. I mean, this method will pass. So let me take another example and try to explain it. These two cases you just note it down and remember. Let me take the second example, 136. Eight nine seven 542. So yeah, again, I mean, we'll take first two elements. In answer it will be left, and our like resulting array will be good array, let's say G or capital G, good array. This looks something like this now, 1 and 3. And now left pointer is here, right pointer is here. So last element what we have taken is that 3. So increasing boolean I have not explained, maybe in this problem I'll be explaining you. So if you try to see here, last element is 3 and left element is 2, and right element is 2 and left element is 6. So if you see the last element somewhere between left and right. So when this is the case, what you will be doing is you will be checking the previous one. So previous, what is there, 1 and 3, so it is in increasing order. So increasing was let's say set to true, because when I'm taking first two elements, at that time I'll be setting increasing is true, because second element will be compared with the last element, and because it is increasing, I'll be doing that in the code. So it is increasing. So once if it is increasing and this is the case, now you try to break the chain and you'll try to take the decreasing elements. So if you take 6, if you try to insert 6 again, it will be increasing only, so you'll be taking 2, because you want to break the chain of increasing. So now the from these two, if you see, that is in a decreasing order. Increasing is basically set to false, and last element will be 2, right? So and 2 we have taken, so we'll move r pointer backside and we'll be writing here r. And now last element is 2. We have 4, 6 and 2 is here. So since last element is lesser than both 2, so we will be taking the greatest one according to the I have explained you previously. So 6 I'll be taking. So when I'm taking 6 left, I'll be putting it here, and 1 pointer I'll be moving ahead. And now my last element will be 6. So now we have 2 elements, 4, and last element is 6, and we have 8, right? So it is somewhere in between. And if you try to see, this was in decreasing order, and when I've chosen this 6, I'll be setting basically as increasing order, because these two is in increasing order, so I'll be setting it as true. So again you have got to choose between which element you will be taking, either 4 or 8. For that you will be checking the increasing. So previously it was increasing, so you will try to decrease it, so you will be choosing 4. This is in decreasing order, so you will be setting it as false. And since 4 you have taken, right pointer is here and your answer will be right, and your last element will be updated to 4. Now you have 4, you have 8 and you have 5. So 4, I mean both the elements are lesser, so I'll be taking the greatest one, 8. I think you guys are greeting. So and my last element will be 8. Since it is an increasing, so I'll be setting it as true. And we have 8 here as the last element, and 5 comma 9. So obviously I'll be taking 5, because this is in increasing. I want to try to make that in decreasing, and here last element will be 5. And since I've chosen 5, so right will be moving backside. Yeah, so this is the thing. Now these things you'll have to do it. And one more case just I want to discuss is that, let's say somehow it was, let's say here 5 comma 8, at this place it was somehow 5 comma 8, and now it is in increasing. And let me take other example. So it was 4, and let's say you have some 7 here, and no, I just want to take like I was taking, basically this is the last element, this is the leftmost element or rightmost element, so it was increasing case. I want to just take decreasing case. If that is in decreasing, let's say this one, if that is in decreasing, so obviously you want to break the decreasing thing, so you will be moving to the right side, because this is the last element, and if you add this r here, which is one of the elements, so it will make in increasing order. This is decreasing and it will make in increasing, so which breaks the chain, and you will not get continuously 5 elements. I think you guys got to know how to solve this. Let me try to code it up here. So in the question what they have given is that n you will be given, and number of elements. So basically I'll be taking n, and I'll be taking vector, let's say p, whose size is also n, and I'll be taking a loop, and each element I'll be taking. Now I'll maintain count is equal to 0. Why I'll be maintaining count? Because left less than r, less than equals to r. What is left? Left is basically the pointer, because from leftmost or rightmost you will be taking the element, so left will be to the 0, right will be to the n minus 1. and if count is less than 2, which means we don't have still two elements. So first two elements, as saw in the question, I was taking, I was explaining, I was taking first two elements from the front. So I'll take one string answer, and first element that I'll be taking is that from left. Yeah, I've taken left. So once I come out of this if condition, I'll be basically increasing how many elements I've taken right now. So I've taken left, and now increasing decreasing I'll not be doing anything. If count is 1, count equals to 1, which means one element we already have. So now one more time, like one element we already have, and we are coming one more time, and we are inserting answer, left into the answer. So once we are inserting, which means now we have two elements, but count is 1 still. So we have two elements. Now we'll have to compare if it is increasing or decreasing. So since count is 1, what I'll be doing is I'll check one variable I'll be taking, basically last element, and it will not be set. So it will be set at this place, which will be basically p of l, and l I'll be increasing by one position. So I'll be checking if last element minus p of l, if it is lesser than 0, which means last element is lesser than the current element. So in that case it is increasing will be set to true. What is increasing? I'll be taking a boolean variable to make sure right now if it is increasing or decreasing, right? So yeah, like we have two elements, and if this condition does not hold, so it should be decreasing. Increasing will set to false, which means it is decreasing, because it will be greater than 0. Greater than 0 means last element is greater than the p of l. So yeah, it is greater than 0. This is done now. So when I have two elements, I'll be not moving into this if condition, because basically I just wanted first two elements, and after that I'll be comparing based on what I was saying. So when I come into else condition, I'll be checking here if, give me a second. So yeah, I was here at last element. If it is lesser than the p of l, and last element is lesser than p of right. So if the elements are lesser, so in that case what we are doing, we are taking the greatest element. So we'll be checking here if p of l is less than p of r. So definitely last element will be our p of r minus minus, and since we're taking since both the elements are lesser, so our increasing order will be true. Else, since which means l is greater, so in that case our last element will be p of l plus plus. Yeah, this was one of the case. Now we'll be checking if last element is greater than p of l, and last element is greater than p of r. So in that case we'll have to check if again, like in this case both the elements are greater, which means both the elements are smaller, which means our first case is that increasing order will be true, because last element is greater and the element what we are choosing is lesser, so our increasing order will be true. We'll have to check now if p of l is greater than p of r. So in case of last element being greater than both elements, we were choosing the least element, lesser element, right? So we'll be choosing here last element will be P of R minus minus. I think you guys are getting. Just try to, you know, whatever method I said, just try to dry run and you'll understand. So P of L plus plus. So when I mean both the left and right elements were either lesser than last element or either greater than last element. Now in between there was one case wherein left element is lesser than the last element and right element is greater. So this case will take now. So we'll have to check if last element is lesser than P of L. The left element what we have, that we are checking. So which means in this case like it depends on the if increasing or decreasing. If let's say increasing is set to true, uh, here condition is that, so last element let's say is 4 and P of left is 5 and P of let's say yeah 5 and let's say P of right is 3. So in this case what we're doing, we're trying to check if it is increasing or decreasing. Since the previous thing is increasing, is set to true, so we will try to find out decreasing somehow. Increasing will be false, which means decreasing we want. So which element you want to choose so that the element will be decreasing. Since last element is lesser than P of L, so obviously you will have to choose the right element in order to make the decreasing. P of R minus minus. You got this right? If the last is not increasing, if it is in decreasing order, and we want to make that increasing, right? So we want to make that increasing to true, and since how do we make increasing? Last element is less than P of L, P of L is greater, right? So we'll have to take last element as P of L plus plus. So this case is done now, and last case will be wherein you know uh, right element is greater than last element. So this is left element is greater than, so this is right greater than. Again in this case also we'll have to check if increasing is set to true. uh, let's say I'm taking 3 4 5 3 5 6 I have taken it. I'll comment it out. So let's say our last element is 5 and left is 3, right is 6. In this case right is greater, right is greater. So in that case we'll have to check if increasing, like previously it was increasing, so you want to make sure that now it is decreasing. So in order to make decreasing you'll have to check the lesser thing, right? So which is lesser in this case? Now lesser is P of left, because P of right is greater here, so P of left will be lesser. So last element will be P of L plus plus, and since it is increasing, it was increasing, so we are trying to make that decreasing, so it will be false. Else last element will be P of R minus minus, and increasing will be set to true. Yeah, this is it, but I think I've not taken this answer. So whenever I was taking left here, so that is fine. And in this case whenever taking right, I'll be basically inserting R into our answer. So whenever I'm taking left, I'll be basically inserting L into my answer. Here I've taken R, so it will be R. Here I've taken L, so it will be L. Here I've taken R, so it will be R. Here I've taken L, so it will be L. Again L we have taken, that is fine. R we have taken, so it is R. So yeah, this is it. Let's try to run the code. So I mean running will not give this because I've done in some order, but they have done in some other order. So let's try to submit this code and see. So choose file. Sorry. B Deque process. Let me try to submit it. I hope this gets wrong on test one. I think somewhere we have missed something. Da, 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 da. Count is 0, increasing last element. This is true. Answer we are taking left, and acha we are increasing count here, so that is fine. If count is 1, so last element based on this will be taking p of l plus plus. So let's try to debug. Last element is lesser than both L and R. So in this case we'll check, both are lesser. So we'll be taking the greatest one. So we have taken greatest one. And if that is not true, okay, I think, yeah, we are setting increasing only because that will be in increasing order. Okay, here it should be decreasing order. So that is the case. Because both elements are lesser than the last element, so obviously it will be in decreasing order. Rest all I think is good. Let's try to resubmit the code. Again it is okay. If both elements are greater than left and right, if it is greater, then we'll be taking the least one. So we are taking the least one. Else if last element is lesser than p of l, somewhere it was in between. So if it is increasing is set to true, okay. So last element, if it is increasing, so somehow we'll have to make decreasing. So in order to make decreasing, you will be taking the right one. And if it is decreasing, so increasing will be set to false, or else it will be set to true, and you will be taking the left one. This seems to be correct only. So if it were increasing, you are supposed to take the decreasing. Acha, my bad. I'm not displaying anything here. How could I miss this? So let's try to submit it. Everything I've done it, but I'm not displaying. Yeah, it is running now. Maybe it will get accepted. yeah, it got accepted. So that was it, guys. Like I was not displaying answer, and one more thing was that here I've set the, you know, at this position increasing to true, but it should be increasing to false. So I think it is O of n solution. And yeah, thank you guys for watching the video.